Hey, Andrew Clark House here. Today I was going to talk to you about Christmas weddings. They're really difficult sometimes because you don't ever want it to look like Christmas threw up. You don't want it to be on theme with the family's decorations, and you don't want to be overly holiday oriented with the wedding. You want it to still feel elegant. So when faced with this, doing a Christmas wedding at home for a client, we decided to keep their trees the way they are and not put any other decorations in the house until after the wedding. So for a palette, we decided to use a lot of silvers. We used lamb's ear, silver eucalyptus. We also used a lot of green roses, green ranunculus, and then deep red tulips, deep red lilies, and then white roses. We also used a lot of Carolina sapphire and juniper to create kind of Christmas greenery, but I really wanted everything to be the blue silver category, to make everything pop and make everything also seem a little more elegant rather than just green and red and everything be Christmassy. The first thing we did was we covered the front of the house with wreaths. We made individual arrangements and mounted them to each wreath and then tied them together with just classic red velvet ribbon, because we wanted to still stick to kind of her classic decor she usually uses at her house. We also, for centerpieces, had these beautiful fluted silver pieces that we surrounded in moss and just were able to just fill bountifully and kind of make wild and fill the tables full of that. Now, the most difficult piece of this was the altar and the actual ceiling in that room. Is about a 25-foot cathedral ceiling. I made about 150 feet of garland to put on the ceiling and hand wove it and hand wired it with lights. When I got there though, we had a 20-foot ladder. So it was one of the scariest days hanging on the top rung of a ladder, trying to attach that garland and bring it down the sides and then down the sides of the wall. Luckily I lived. And then there's a giant chandelier that's just gorgeous in the middle of the room. So I took that and just covered it in basically a garland I had pre-made, full of Carolina sapphire and tulips and roses, and we just stuffed it and stuffed it and stuffed it before it would fall down. Bring the room back to scale, so your eye would be really focused on the altar, which was the fireplace. The fireplace is exquisite. However, the mantle is very thin. We pieced together this incredible piece that I really enjoyed building. However, it was on such a thin mantle, we had to wire it in every direction to the wall and hide the wires because of the sheer weight of it. We just covered the thing in antique green hydrangeas and red tulips and white roses and ranunculus. It really wanted a huge wave of motion to kind of carry the eye behind the altar where they're getting married. It turned out beautifully, but it was very precarious to build, and we weren't sure it was going to make it the whole ceremony, but it stood. For a Christmas wedding, we were able to achieve something truly special and unique, and not make it feel like a Christmas celebration, but to really make it its own individual event that was really dappled with the colors and textures and smells of Christmas.